In 1991, hikers in the Alps stumbled on the body of a man, mummified and frozen. It was visible because the ice was melting. After looking over the body, the hikers realized that this wasn't the body of one of the hikers who go missing every year in this alpine region. This was a man who had died more than 5,000 years ago. In fact, after careful study, scientists found that he is the oldest human ever found, a man 5,300 years old. Scientists call him Ötzi, or the Iceman. How he died became clear pretty quickly. Inferring from the evidence, an arrowhead lodged in the Iceman's back led to the conclusion that he was murdered. Ötzi was an immediate archaeological sensation. Research teams eagerly studied both the mummy and his incredibly well-preserved clothing: leather shoes, a woven grass cloak, and goatskin leggings. From these remains, could archaeologists predict who he was, how he lived, and why he died up here in the mountains? Based on the evidence, many researchers thought that Ötzi must have been an alpine shepherd, leading goats and sheep to high-altitude pastures in the summer. Shepherds today still herd livestock along the same path where Ötzi was found. If Ötzi was a shepherd, perhaps he was killed for his sheep. Two anthropologists, Sylvia Reinhardt and Hans Plotzkammer, and Anna Pedrotti, an archaeologist, decided to test this theory. They started by making an exact duplicate of Ötzi's clothes. The clothes would help the researchers model how Ötzi lived. When they were done, Hans donned the outfit. He would find out firsthand whether it could have held up to the tough life of an alpine shepherd. As Hans set off up the mountain on foot, Sylvia and Anna took the easy route, by helicopter. For Hans, it was a grueling 1,200-meter climb to model the Iceman's apparent journey. From the mountaintop, Sylvia and Anna could see that Hans was having trouble. At last he arrived exhausted. His shoes were a disaster. They had no traction and they hadn't kept the water out at all. The poor performance of the shoes indicated that Ötzi probably wasn't a shepherd. Someone wearing shoes like this couldn't make the 1,200-meter mountain climb regularly. But if Ötzi wasn't a shepherd, why was he up here? And why was he killed? Years of examination have not yet come up with an answer, but researchers have not given up. They are confident that with more study, and maybe even new technology, the Iceman will reveal the story of his life and death. How did the scientists follow the steps of observing, inferring, predicting, and modeling in their study of the Iceman?